Good afternoon, and hope things are going well for everyone. I wanted to take an opportunity today to discuss something that's probably on everybody's mind that's paying attention to the news and to the happenings around us here in southern Indiana and then actually the United States. But I want to talk not so much about those things, but I want to talk about the issue of video cameras, body cameras, dash cameras, and the law and the courtroom cameras, and just kind of give some general information about some questions that people may have. If you're asking yourself, why don't all police, why don't all courts, why don't all public service emergency personnel have body cameras and dash cameras? I can tell you that in Indiana, there's no requirement. The dash cameras and the body cameras that police agencies have here are developed as a result of a agency themselves, and particularly here where we live, Clarksville, Sellersburg, Charlestown. They all have some form of video in most of their vehicles, if not all their vehicles. And in the Clark County Jail, there's video throughout the jail. In the City Hall in Jeffersonville, and in the Clark County Courthouse, there's video there. But all of these are things that have developed by virtue of those individual entities deciding that that's something that they wanted to do, and how they wanted to spend their money. Because there's no mandate, because it's not statutory, because it's not required, then it becomes, in Indiana where we are, it becomes a question and an issue of dollars and cents and how you expend your funds. So when you may ask yourself, why isn't there a video of everything? That's the answer. It's not required, and it is a decision that's made in department by department. So I will tell you that on a personal level, as an individual lawyer who does a lot of defense work, criminal defense work, I like videos. I think that they're important. I think that they're important for several reasons, and it's not always because all your clients are innocent and the video is what exonerates them. It's because what you see is what you believe, and what you see is what has happened. And when you're a juror, when you have the benefit of something other than the words of the witnesses who perceive things and see things differently when they report them from the stand, when you see a video, you see what happened. And I believe that the other reason cameras and videos are important is because when we know that we are being watched, and when we're cognizant and aware that what we're doing is going to be preserved and can be shown, and our behavior is going to be something that is going to be out there and we can't explain it away, then I think that we're affected by that, and we may behave better, and we may not do some of the things that we might otherwise do if we think that we're doing it anonymously. So I think that videos are important. I think they're just as important for the government, for the prosecutor, and for the police to protect them as they are for the defense and for the citizens and for the community to protect them. I think that the existence of video protects us all, and I think that it's something that is important, and I believe that we should strive to try to accommodate that in all aspects of law enforcement and in the court process. I think that's something that spending money to protect the citizens with the what you see is what happened, and for the police officers and the government to be able to say what you see is what happened. And that's why I think it's as essential as the cars themselves, because it's important in this day and age. And I think that in the courtroom, it's something that can be helpful as well. It can certainly, when you have video in the courtroom, everyone knows it's there, and it may also play into that idea of behavior. Someone's not going to behave quite the same way when they know that their behavior is being recorded. It's visually being recorded, and it's something that can be shown to other people. So I think that videos is something we need to have in every piece of and every aspect of law enforcement and every aspect of the courts. And again, it protects us all. And when you're doing what I do, sometimes a video showing it to your client and saying, hey, this is what the jury's going to see. What do you think about our case now is as helpful as looking at a video and going, that's not what was written down in that report. This is what really happened. So we have our defense, and this is what our defense is. It cuts both ways. And I will honestly tell you, it usually cuts against your client rather than for your client. So I don't think that there's much question that the lack of video in some of the departments is not for any other reason than it's the lack of the funds, and there are questions that have to be dealt with about how long you keep the video, where you store the video, what the cost of it is it something available immediately to the public, is it a public record? So there's lots of questions. There are questions that need to be answered. We need to have video, we need to have video dash cameras, we need to have video lapel cameras, we need to have video in the courtroom, we need to use the technology we have in this day and age to best serve justice, because that's really what we're all in this for. We're all in for justice, and we all want to see justice served. Again, thank you very much for those who watch this, and again, we're going to move on and do some other things, but I thought that this was an important issue right now to kind of address, answer some questions, and maybe put some concerns to rest, and express what I believe and my feelings about how important it is. So next week, hopefully we'll talk a little bit about innocent, guilty, not guilty, the three distinctions. Talk to the judges, already have some commitments to do some 4 or 5 minute discussions about what it is that they do. So we're going to move on, but I thank you and appreciate it, and look forward to your feedback, and I read everything, and I'm just going to try to do what I can and see how long this ride lasts. So everybody be safe, enjoy the weekend, and take care.